A customer sent in their QNAP NAS for us to fix. The model on this one is TVS-673E, and the customer is having issues with it actually booting in all the way. They have tried resets. That didn't make a difference. And right now, after one of the resets, it says BIOS checking memory, but it won't load past that message. So let's open it up and find out what's going on. First, let's remove all of the trays. Next, we'll remove the 3 screws on the back over here to remove the cover. Now the cover should slide right off. Because our unit does have power and is able to boot, just not all the way in, I don't believe that our power supply is at fault. So we're going to be focusing on the motherboard. Next, let's go ahead and power it up again. First thing I'm going to notice is that my fans start spinning. So our top fan is spinning and our back fans are spinning, which is good. One thing I'm noticing is that there is a green light right over here that is shining, that's on. But there is supposed to be a light also illuminating off of this IC. Let's go ahead and actually remove this fan. We're going to remove the heatsink. And the first thing I want to pay attention to is our processor. I fear that our processor is defective. Remove a couple of the screws. I am noticing right off the bat that the heatsink is actually pretty hot, and I don't have a super good spread. All right, we're gonna zoom in a little bit. So one of the things I'm noticing is I don't have a super good spread of the thermal paste. We have a little bit of a spot right here and over here where there seems to be almost no paste at all. So our unit does have power, it is turning on. We have the display on the front, we have our fan spinning, we have that green light on the motherboard, and yet it's not able to boot all the way in. There are 2 things that I usually look at. Number 1 is going to be the memory, which are our RAM bricks over here. I have already replaced them with brand new ones with no difference whatsoever. Another part would be the software, which would be on this little daughter board over here. We have tested it, it is in working condition. And the last part that we commonly see go out would be the processor. So because I've already ruled out the RAM as well as the DOM, I believe that our fault is going to be our processor. So that's going to be what we replace today. In order to do that, we obviously need to remove the motherboard. So let's do that next. Next, we'll remove the back of the unit. Before we can remove the back cover, we do need to disconnect the fans, and they are clipped in here with a zip tie, so we'll cut that off. Disconnect both fans, and now we should be able to wiggle this off. Here we are, and we do want to be careful. There's still one ribbon attached here. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of that silicone adhesive. It looks like the ribbon is really stuck to that adhesive actually. All right, here we go. Now able to get that adhesive off. Just have to be very careful because these clips are very fragile. There it is. Now I do have one more screw right over here. And then I have 3 more, looks like, holding down the motherboard. And now I should be able to gently lift the unit up. And so what we're trying to do here is disconnect from the board over here. Okay. And there we go. And we want to be gentle. And our last piece here, and it's hard to show you, is this ribbon here. And it also has silicone. So we'll remove that. Let's disconnect that. And one more wire. There we go. Now we do still need to prep it for our machine so that we can remove and replace this processor. As you can tell, it is soldered directly onto the board. There is no socket to just simply swap it out. So we're going to need to use our rework machine, which gets really, really hot. That means that a lot of the more sensitive components, like this guy over here, the DOM, will need to be removed. So we'll flip that over. Right over here, we're going to use our needle nose pliers to push that plastic clip through. There we go. Obviously, we're going to want to remove this metal bar over here, the support. And our final step is to use Kapton tape to cover some of the plastic so that it does not melt on the rework machine. All right, and one last thing is we don't want our battery to be on the machine, so we're going to go ahead and remove that as well. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this over to our rework machine and remove that processor to replace it with a new one. And it had that nice elasticity there. Next step is to add the heatsink back on. First, we're going to put a little bit of our high-end thermal paste, and this is the MX-4. Okay, and we do have good spread. So at this moment, we're just going to plug in the bare minimum. We're not going to put in every single screw. We want to test this unit partially before we put everything back together. All right, everything's back together. Let's plug it in and see what we get. The fans started spinning and they stopped. Let me press power. Here we go. Okay, and we still do have the BIOS checking memory message. So let's wait a couple of minutes and see if it does finally make it through into the network. Oh, there we go. We got a beep. I don't think we were getting a beep before. And it's saying booting. Okay, we're making some progress here. All right, we're gonna plug in our Ethernet. Okay, our Ethernet port just started lighting up here, and it is detecting the LAN. Still has the loading up drivers, please wait. Okay, and it looks like we booted all the way in. All right, let's go ahead and check it on the network and see if we can detect it there. Okay, it does look like the unit is being detected. So let's go ahead and bring it up. And let's start our smart install. Let's see. Let's just check to see. Okay, so there is an update available. We're not going to do that right now. And it's telling me that the hard drives are missing, and that's normal. We don't have a hard drive in there right now. All right, I just inserted a drive. Let's go ahead and hit next. All right, and at this point, it's asking me if I want to initialize the system or restore factory settings. I'm not going to go ahead and touch any of that. That's not really the issue that we were tackling. So we're going to consider this a successful repair since we are now able to fully boot in, and we are also able to detect it on the network. If you have a similar unit you would like to send in for us to fix, we'll have links to our flat rate services on our website, which will be linked down below in the description. If you found the video helpful or useful, make sure to leave us a like, subscribe for more content, and thank you for watching.